Hi, this is the beginning of my Facebook Live. All right, here we go. My name is Jen Singer, and I am the founder of the Event Industry. It is a resource guide for event planners, whether you're a aspiring event planner or you've been an event planner for a really long time and you're just looking for resources and tools to help kind of keep you organized and manage more events. I've been managing events for over 16 years, and I've had the opportunity to do everything from big galas to food and wine festivals, conferences, and even a short time doing some weddings, which was not my forte. I created the Event Industry because I was looking for a community and also resources and templates to help me organize all of the details. Oops, this is my first Facebook Live, and I am trying to figure out the technology, so bear with me. As I was saying, I created the Event Industry because I was looking for a community of other planners and some templates. I was working with a lot of different clients, a lot of event needs, a lot of details, and I was having a hard time kind of organizing all the information. I looked at different software, and I just didn't find anything that really was like suiting these different client needs and having to share documents with them. So I started creating the templates for myself. And then I thought, well, there might be other planners that need these templates too and are looking for some free resources to help manage their events. One of the things that really helped me in managing all the details is to break down the specifics of an event into 10 different categories. That way I could sort information as it comes through, or ideas or tasks, anything from a client wants to order a custom tablecloth for their event, or you have a wedding client that wants to do a signature cocktail with like the special ingredients and the special sign. How can you organize that information and make sure that you are getting that to whoever's doing the beverage catering, or if you're making the sign, or do you need to go buy the frames for the signs to go into? As you can see, just like one little suggestion kind of has like a ripple effect of like many different tasks, and it's great to find a way to organize all of that. Over the next month or so, I will be going through all the 10 different categories into more specific details, answering any questions, and kind of trying to break down those even to more details to kind of clarify why those are helpful in organizing your event. Today I want to talk about budget and financials, your guest list, and your venue for your event. When it comes to your budget and financials, this is basically the roadmap for your event. How big or small your event will be, how many guests can you serve, what kind of items are you going to serve? Are you going to feed them lunch or dinner? Is it going to be a very robust dinner? Are drinks going to be included, or is this an event where if someone wants an alcohol beverage, they pay on their own? That's not something you're going to host for them. Do you have the budget for live entertainment, or are you just going to have some background music? All of those elements can get fleshed out when you start putting together the budget and like outlining, okay, this is what's really important. What's really important is people have free drinks. It's really important that we, have a live band, because that, for, our events, live entertainment is like one of the most important things. Like you can start to outline the priorities and whether or not there is room in the budget for all of those things. One tip I would have for planners, if you work, if you're an independent contractor or you have your own business and you're working with different clients, is wait until you have a contract signed until you put together a budget. I've had many situations where clients are wanting me to outline a budget for them, and at that point you're basically diving into the essence of the planning, and you really just don't want to go down that road until you have signed an agreement and they've paid a retainer or a deposit, or however you structure your payment details, that you really have that guarantee until you start going into the specifics of, band or venues or, what's feasible. And this has come up a lot, even a couple months ago. So that one thing I would just caution for my independent planners out there. In terms of the guest list, this is essentially who is attending, and how are you inviting them? How are they getting that information about, the where, the when, and how, and attire, all those event specifics of, inviting your guest, that timeline too of when you're going to send out. Are you going to do a save the date a few months in advance and then send a more formal invitation, 6 to 8 weeks leading up to the event? And what does that invitation look like? Is it in an email? Are you doing something, through Eventbrite? Is this like a ticketed event, or maybe it's, it's a ticketed event, but the tickets are free. So you're using Eventbrite or paperless post, has really cute formats for emailing out. This is essentially, your guideline of how you're telling everybody about your event. One thing that I would caution for a guest list is, especially for ticketed events, whether it's complimentary or not, is to print out a list of the guest names. And I say this because I had a situation yesterday for an event where we were using Eventbrite, and the Eventbrite website went down. And luckily I had printed out a hard copy of the guest list, because the Eventbrite website went down exactly when guests were arriving between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then it was back up by 10 a.m. when everybody was checked in and the event had started, and I didn't really need Eventbrite anymore. It was super frustrating, and you could do Eventbrite on your phone. I was using my computer. I guess that's like null and void. I mean, the site was down. The site would be down also on my phone. So it's just great to have that hard copy, so you're not scrambling to write people's names down, so you can just check people off, and no one is the wiser that Eventbrite site is down. Maybe they just think you're going to do a paper system. So I would just... Lessons learned, just yesterday, I would print out a guest list just as a backup, because you never know when technology is going to fail you, or Wi-Fi is going to fail you, or anything like that. Those hard copies are good to have. In the respect of the venue, you want to first just determine your ideal date, and then select a location that is going to maybe satisfy any of your goals. A lot of this usually comes down to price or aesthetics, location. Is it close to where most of your guests are? Is it visually appealing? Does it have an outdoor area for part of the event, or do you want the whole thing outdoor? Is there elements that are included? When there are tables or chairs or linens included, where you don't have to rent any of those items and bring those all in, that could be very attractive, because it could free up funds to have a live band if you want, or maybe splurge a little bit more on hosting bar. So that could be an element of the venue. I would also just recommend, in terms of venue, that you have a rain contingency plan. I'm in Southern California, and we tend to not get a ton of rain, although we have had a crazy amount of rain the last few days. And then this season has, we've definitely got more rain, and some clients that just have opted not to do a rain contingency plan, and one day, one of my events, it rained, and it was, we were shuffling a lot of stuff at the very last minute. And there wasn't a really great option for a rain contingency plan. And we went through, and it was worked out, but it was definitely way more stressful not having that plan ahead of time, so we could just roll right into that when rain was rolling right into our event. So sometimes it's hard to convince clients to think of that, or maybe it's for your own event, but I would definitely caution, especially in the seasons of weather, or even off seasons, to think about a contingency plan for your event. So that covers just the first 3 categories of my event checklist. Thank you to everybody who has downloaded it, and hopefully it's providing some great resources for you and your events. Now, this is my first Facebook Live, so I'm not really sure how to check for any comments or anything. Maybe I have to go. Bear with me for 1 second. Because if there's anybody watching and there's anybody that has a comment or a question, I would love to answer it. Okay, well, it doesn't look like there's any comments or questions, but I will be back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Going through some more of my event checklist and some more specifics about how to categorize all of your event details, how to organize the million things that can go into planning an event, and also some lessons learned. Every week I have a new experience or story, like Eventbrite, just going down, that could hopefully help you in your event, and just avoid the stress. Guests not even knowing what was going on. It was very seamless, and I think that is my ultimate goal for my clients, and just for people attending the event, is that it is a fun, enjoyable experience. You make it easy. You make it easy for them to arrive, easy for them to walk into an event, easy for them to enjoy the whole experience. And the way that you can obtain that is if you're prepared. And the way to prepare is to just basically just organize all of the elements that go into your event. So thank you for watching this video. If you watched it live or if you're watching the replay, I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys next week.